So what is it that you love about your job with the National Trust?
I love my job as Orchard Project Officer for the National Trust. It's more than just apples. I mean, my job takes me to orchards all over the country, and they've each got their unique sense of character and place. I mean, in this part of the world, there's a lot of cider apples, but way up in the north, we've got all the damsons, and different parts of the country we've got the cherries. So they're not all the same. Each one has its own unique sense of place. So they're great places to be, and it's a great job to have.
Well, the orchards as a habitat are just stunning. You know, they're a vital link in the wildlife chain. You know, they supply me with fruit and food. I mean, basically, they're just a great thing to be involved with. There's so many different avenues to pursue that it's just great. It's just great to have something like this to slot into our normal daily work, something a little bit different, a little bit quirky from our normal work on the estate, and it's great at this time of year to be so busy.
Well, the Golden Cap Estate and the whole of this area around West Dorset is just fantastic countryside. The range of habitats and the knowledge and the information that there is around here is incredible, and it's a fantastic place to work. And Dorset itself is a bit of a hidden gem and a secret that lots of people pass through, maybe on the way down to Devon and Cornwall. But us here in sleepy Dorset, we're left alone, and it's just a fantastic place to work.
Tony, what is it that makes you want to get up in the morning and do this job? You know, what's the
Wife
attraction?
kicks me out of bed.
On a more professional level.
Not quite the person.
When you think about the National Trust, what does it mean to you? Why are you pleased to be involved in the work that they're doing? What is it about working at this particular site that you love?
Yeah. The first time I came to Malham was on a geography field trip when I was about 11. So that's 10 years ago, isn't it? Yeah. And then I thought, what a great place. So from leaving school to getting married, we used to come up here camping and various other holidays, days out, you'd always drive up into Dales, and really enjoyed coming up here. So when I saw a job advertised for the National Trust as a warden at Malham Town, I applied and got the job, and I thought, well, I'm in heaven now. It's a fantastic place to live, it's a fantastic place to work. There's such a lot of variety of things to do, not only, you know, meeting the tenants and public, but actually working on the reserve. There's all sorts of different jobs, you know, it's not all fence and wall and looking after footpaths. You know, we've got a nice, well, I think it's nice, it's absolutely gorgeous NNR. There's all sorts of stuff on there. We're always doing different sorts of tasks on there, not just me, but volunteers, estate team work on there. Everybody works on there. You know, we put boardwalk down, we do pond clearing, willow scrub removal, all sorts of different stuff. So it's the variety, and what better place to work? So that's what gets me up in the morning.
Well, I started with the Trust as a volunteer back in South Shropshire Hills, say 20 odd years ago. I really enjoyed working outside. I really was into wildlife, working with nature, etc. I then got taken on as a seasonal warden. I actually eventually ended up as a property manager on that estate. So I worked my way all the way up from the bottom through to property manager. I then moved to the Dales 10 years ago, and although South Shropshire is a beautiful area, so is the Dales. It's an absolutely stunningly beautiful landscape that we're in, particularly all the limestone, and incredibly rich in wildlife, and that's what really makes me tick. I'm very, very fortunate that I do look after one of the most important national nature reserves in the country. I also have another national nature reserve, which I think we're the only National Trust property in the country that actually has two national nature reserves under its belt. And that's Newhouse Farm, which is really important for its northern hay meadows, so very rare hay meadows. This site in particular is quite a complex site because of the different types of wetland habitat. So very, very interesting. But it's full of challenges which I enjoy. But also I look after a much larger estate than just here. So I look after Upper Wharfdale, Moulton Hall, Braithwaite Hall, East Gartop, Hudswell Woods, which is on the edge of Richmond. So very spread out property. We're about 70 miles from east to west, about 45-50 miles north to south. And if you've seen the little lanes we're on, it's not the easiest to get around. So if I'm going off to some of the far-flung properties, I have to spend a whole day out there. But they're all very different. So from here, which is quite an open, sometimes people call it barren, stark landscape, you go to Wharfdale, which is a lot more intimate. It's a glaciated valley with lots more woodland, and then perhaps go to Braithwaite Hall, which is a large farm with a small mansion property attached to it. It's the variety. I have a real diverse variety of properties, which really keeps me interested. A lot of challenges at some, but a heck of a lot of interest as well.
So what would you say was the best part of your day?
Best part of the day is getting out of the office. More bogged down these days with meetings and office work, but actually getting out and spending time with some of the visitors, spending time with groups that visit the site really is, makes it worthwhile. Actually seeing people enjoying what they're coming out and looking at, and actually talking to them, telling them about the site, doing activities with them, really makes the job for me. Seeing people enjoy themselves out in the countryside. So.